KRDO News Channel 13. We're happy to welcome back our very own Dr. John Torres.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
It's been a while.
Good to see
have
you.
back.
It has been a while, but I'm back.
Welcome
so
back. Good to have you. Yeah, we're talking about washing your hands, keeping those germs and bacteria away and spreading. Now there are new photos that may help get people washing more frequently.
Right, and that's the important part, because the more frequently you wash, the less germs you have, which is the important thing. But a recent study showed that to be the case among healthcare workers at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit. Infection prevention and control specialists testing what's called the yuck factor showed magnified images of bacteria on things like mouse pads and workstations and even a person's hand. Hygiene compliance rates in 4 patient care units improved an average of almost 24% after they saw these photos. Now, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention does estimate that healthcare workers practice proper hygiene less than half of the time they should. Of course, the CDC says healthcare workers might need to clean their hands as many as 100 times during a 12-hour shift, and I can tell you that's true. I work 12-hour shifts. You're constantly washing your hands.
And you have time for anything else if you're washing your hands all day.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things you just have to do it as a doctor. And I tell patients all the time, it's okay. Ask the doctor before you touch it, did you wash your hands?
Yeah.
And if they didn't, say, if you don't mind, please do.
Very interesting.
Yeah. That's good.
Interesting study now regarding e-cigarettes. It found that teens who use e-cigarettes are 6 times more likely to move on to traditional cigarettes.
Right. We're getting more information. They're more popular. We're getting more studies out of this. But a survey of about 300 high school students found a troubling pattern. Adolescents who had never smoked but who had used e-cigarettes were substantially more likely to begin smoking combustible cigarettes over the next year. As a matter of fact, in recent years, scientists have debated whether e-cigarettes help smokers quit or instead act as a gateway to tobacco smoking. Well, according to this new survey, results from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, just last year, 11% of high school students said they'd smoked cigarettes in the previous 30 days. That's a significant decline since the 1990s. However, 24% said they used vape products, such as e-cigarettes, within the last month alone. So again, we're finding out more information. It's still one of those subjects that we don't. It's controversial.
It has helped a lot of people to quit.
It has helped to quit, but especially that adolescent group, that seems to be pushing them more towards smoking.
Can have the opposite effect too.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're looking to give your workout a little bit of a jolt, you're saying that you might just want to turn to coffee.
Yeah, and it's that caffeine that could help you out. As a matter of fact, some sports nutritionists say caffeine's effect helps you act as a stimulant to push you to even work harder out when you're exercising. Now, Java can also help release what are called feel-good neurotransmitters, things like dopamine. In other words, you work out hard and you might actually enjoy getting sweaty. Now, drinking coffee an hour before you work out is optimal, but you don't want to go overboard because too much caffeine can act as things like a laxative. However, if you do work out at night, it gets even more complicated. Caffeine stays in your system for about 4 to 6 hours after you consume it, but it doesn't affect everyone the same way. When it comes to sleep, you might be one of the ones that doesn't have any trouble at all after having a cup of caffeine, but someone else might find themselves restless in bed at night. So the object is to know your body and know what caffeine does to it. Sometimes the Arabica coffee has less caffeine than the Robusta coffee. The dark roast seem to have less caffeine. So again, it's one of those things, just play around with it and see what works best for you.
That makes